Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel square off with Myles, Garrett, Quinshot Judkins, and the Cleveland Browns. Fired up for this matchup. Couple of AFC teams looking to continue the winning ways. The Cleveland Browns with a win last week against the Miami Dolphins. People were saying this would be the ugliest game of the season. More so from Miami. For Cleveland, yes, you would like to see a little bit more from your young quarterback in Dillon Gabriel. Did he play well? Not really all that much. Was the ground game there when they needed it to be? Yes, it absolutely was. Quinshot Judkins found the box. 3 touchdowns. That's something that the New England Patriots need to be aware of. What I'm most excited about for this game is you get to see the running backs, right? We know Travion Henderson has been trying to get a little bit more involved. Get this man more than 2 carries. You took him 2 picks after Quinshot in the draft. I've been waiting for this matchup because it's Travion Henderson versus Quinshot Judkins, the 2 backs that split time for Ohio State that won the national championship last year. Henderson's just not been that large of a factor. We thought after the preseason this guy would be getting the ball 15, 18 times a game and being a large factor for the offense. Surprise is mainly that Drake Maye has played just out of his mind. This man was 21 of 23, 2 touchdowns, a 136 quarterback rating against the Tennessee Titans last week on the road. I don't think overstate how impressive he has looked in the pocket, even from the first couple of weeks from the season, even from the first game against the Raiders, showing up and being a bit sloppy, inaccurate at times in that one. And he has gotten better and better as the season continues to roll on. You can just watch the confidence levels of him beaming right now. That if he's got a guy with a little bit of space and he's got a clean pocket, or it doesn't even have to be all that clean, he's putting the ball right on the money. His wide receivers have done a great job. Booty, Hollins, Diggs, he's got an array of weapons. Hunter Henry, a very reliable tight end. I'm starting to like this New England team because they are playing that complementary style of football every head coach loves. Now for the Browns, look, when Quinshot Judkins is rolling, you don't have to be at a level of 5 yards a carry. That's what I've talked about consistently about Cleveland on the season. If you can have Quinshot run the football in the 20s, whatever that number is, and he can be sitting around even around 4 yards a carry, and you don't turn the football over with a defense as good as Cleveland has. Schwesinger roaming the middle, Denzel, Ward, and Myles, Garrett. Now with Ward, we have to stay a little bit updated there with his status with the injury, and there's a whole bunch of guys. We're going to get into that with the second, but when they are remotely healthy, this is one of the best defenses in the NFL. So they don't have to have Dillon Gabriel, whoever their starting quarterback is, let's say a couple of weeks from now, play at a crazy level. They just run the football okay, have it be enough to pick up first downs, maintain time of possession, keep their defense off of the field, keep their defense fresh so that when they are on the field, they can get after the quarterback. They can take the football away. They can make life miserable for Tua Tagovailoa. 3 interceptions. Tua, a 24 quarterback rating. That was one of the worst games of his entire career. I don't really think that it would have mattered even if Miami ran the ball 40 times at 6 yards a carry. Like, they just did not seemingly have anything working in the pass game against Cleveland. Now, I said I'll mention the injury. So I'm recording this video on the evening on Wednesday. There's a couple of updates we need to go through because injuries are of vital importance to the league, especially at this stage where there's just a lot of unknowns. Like right now, Njoku, limited participant on Wednesday for Cleveland. It is looking like he'll go. Tyson Campbell, right? They bring him over from Jacksonville, a surprising move. They send Newsome over there, a limited participant in Wednesday's practice. Mason Graham, limited in Wednesday practice. It looks like these guys will be playing. Denzel Ward, limited in practice due to a hip. He needs to be on the field against the Patriots. Look, the Browns still believe that they have a shot in this division. I know wholeheartedly that Cleveland really has a makeup there, especially when you have a defense at that level in a running game like this. I really think that this team is dangerous, that a game against New England may seem daunting because of the 5-2 record, leading the AFC East, wins it on the road like Buffalo on Sunday night, but this is not a New England team that's invincible. We'll get to that in a minute. So you have these injuries. They will need these guys available if they want a realistic shot to pull off the upset on the road. As for the Patriots, well, they need Harold Landry back. I mentioned him in the opener, and then Stefon Diggs with the chest. But again, these guys do look like they'll be ready to roll. Stefon Diggs, this is a matchup here. If he's matched up with Denzel Ward, I imagine consistently he still appears to be like that number one guy. New England doesn't quite have the number one. That's what has been one of my favorite parts of Drake Maye's game in the pocket this year. It doesn't matter. He doesn't seemingly have a one, a two, or a three. The football is coming out on time, and Josh McDaniels is dialing up to a whole number of guys. This scheme is wide open for who gets touches. The run to pass balance has been quite impressive. They ran the football 36 times and passed it a total of 23 times with Drake in at quarterback. Talk about making things easy on your second-year quarterback overall. I think every offensive coordinator, Mike Vrabel as a head coach, is probably getting in there and slapping McDaniels on the back saying, that's what we want to see. We want to see our young quarterback not have to throw the football more than 25 times. Frankly, if you can keep a rookie, a second year, a third year quarterback from attempting more than 30 passes, and you can get over 4.5 yards a carry, play some good defense, you will be set up to win 10 plus games every single season. I practically guarantee it. When I'm talking about having a good defense, which is what New England does, it doesn't even matter. I mean, the Tennessee Titans, that team couldn't run the football on them. Cam Ward, no time. New England, this was a great sort of get-right game for your defensive line. They've been good overall. I love Milton Williams, right? He's versatile as a run defender and also getting after the quarterback. He's one of my favorite guys that came over. They brought him in from Philadelphia after that Super Bowl run. Very underrated player for that team a year ago. I don't think he's been getting enough credit on this front for New England, doing a lot of the dirty work. Did have a sack and a tackle for loss against the Titans. But overall, I was just impressed by this unit getting after it. Will they have that many sacks against Cleveland? I think they can get 3 or 4. Look, Dillon Gabriel was known at Oregon to try and get the football out of his hands quickly. Does he have the biggest arm? No, but he throws with a decent amount of anticipation. It's just mainly a limited array of weapons that he has. I thought that Jerry Jeudy would really come along and have a great season for Cleveland this year, whether it would have been Flacco or Gabriel here. Harold Fandon, you like to see that the tight end's been getting a little bit more work out of Bowling Green. I liked his game. Big, almost like a 6'6" style guy that can play in as a wide receiver. He's been getting his targets. I like him in open space. He's the type of guy that's a matchup issue for the Patriots. I'm a little bit concerned about him, especially down in the red zone. Those types of guys. Pat Freiermuth comes to mind. Fannin, his ability. Mark Andrews, right? There's a couple of tight ends in the AFC where you start to circle. I think that the upside for Fannin is pretty high, especially with this offense, respectfully saying that the wide receivers aren't ridiculously talented where they're going to be taking a huge bulk of the carry. So there is room for him to turn into a true star for the Cleveland Browns. I believe that New England will be able to have some success on the ground. That is important because you cannot just let these pass rushers for Cleveland get after it. They've got the best defensive player in the NFL in Myles Garrett. Clearly, this is the type of guy that can wreck any game. He's the immediate player that you circle number 95 on the game plan, watching film, and you're trying to formulate a style of play for your team. I think that looking at last week is something similar. Will they be able to run the football for 175 yards? If they do, I will be shocked, quite frankly. This Cleveland team can stop the run. They've got talent in this secondary. They don't miss a whole lot of tackles. They play a clean style. It's just really been the offense and trying to keep them on the field more and getting more protection on that side. So overall, I'd like to see the ground game a little bit, make sure Drake doesn't make the mistake. But again, you have to continue letting this quarterback fly and get the ball out and really continue to take the reins off of him, because he's shown the potential that this man can handle a game script and come out and score points early and then be in tight one-score games in the fourth quarter and not give it away. I've been blown away by his ability. You would have to probably, as of right now, even after what Jaden did last year, you just see the overall development from Drake. You'd probably say he's number one. the Jaden Daniels injury stuff and going forward, that's a major concern for him. Caleb Williams has been fine. Bears are winning football games right now, and he's going to have a bright career there. And Ben Johnson, that thing's not going to quit immediately. Bo Nix, right? He's doing pretty well in Denver. It's a great group of quarterbacks that'll continue to push together. I don't think this competition will be won in the first year, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have to look down the road and look at the whole careers and material, the whole body of work that they produce in order to really get an understanding of which guy won the most Super Bowls or MVPs eventually before we're able to come up with that. It's such an instant gratification style now in social media, but with Blitz with Blender, the videos that I like to make, clearly you have to bring up the hot topics, but overall, I like to talk about things with hype, but there's also the expectation that football is very up and down, especially in the NFL. Any given Sunday, you could see Drake May go out there and struggle. It doesn't mean he's the worst quarterback from this draft class. He throws a touchdown and 3 interceptions. I still truly believe he's one of the top 2 guys from that 2024 class. You can't just go out there and say there's memes flying around and all that kind of thing that we try and stay away from. So thank you so much for engagement. It's been great seeing you guys down there in comments. Let me know down below who you think wins this one. I'll give my prediction now. I think that the Patriots win this game in a tight manner. I see Cleveland not allowing a whole lot of yards for the Patriots. They make it tough on the ground, that it puts more on Maye's plate. I see him turning the football over in this one. So Patriots 20-16. Cleveland as right now is a 7.5-point favorite as what I've looked at. I think that they cover that spread and they make it a good football game. So I've got the Patriots 2016. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Agree, disagree with that. I appreciate you so much for watching this Blitz with Blender video. I'm Josh Blender. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.